Dr. Nikki Robinson. Thank you for dropping in. And everybody who's watching and listening, thank you for dropping in as well and listening in to this SMW quick clip. I still don't have a good name for it. But we're here today with Dr. Nikki Robinson, and she is the STSM and lead architect at IBM Cybersecurity Influencer of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And author. Last time I talked to you, we talked about your book, Mind the Tech Gap, and that came out last October. So if you're listening to this and watching again, pick that up. And you're also working on your new book on vulnerability management. And so maybe we can talk a little bit about what's going on in the vulnerability management space. And so nobody better to talk to about this than you. So what is new?
Okay, so lots is new, and that's why, so Chris Hughes and I decided to write the book on vulnerability management, and there's been so much going on. So I got into security because of vulnerability management, and it was partially because it was like, okay, we have some tools, we have some processes, we got CVSS, we have a couple things, but we really need more, right? And in the last year or so, we've got a CVSS 4.0 is out now. We've got CISA KEV, the known exploited vulnerability catalog. We've got EPSS, exploitability, predictability scoring system. So we have all these new, tools and techniques at our disposal. And so I was really motivated and interested to write the book and hopefully pull some of these resources together for people and really talk about, kind of taking a modern approach to vulnerability management.
Awesome. It's a coincidence, and maybe you would call it a synchronicity, maybe if you're sort of into that stuff. But yesterday I talked to Jay Jacobs, who is the founder and the partner at CISA. So, he was working on the why can I never get that?
It's because we have 5,000 acronyms.
Yes, I know. We need to run. Oh, man, so many acronyms. Exploit predictability scoring system. And so is that something that you've been working on as well, or how are you playing in that space?
So it's funny because I primarily had been more on the CVSS side, and so I didn't really help with any of the development or anything like that around EPSS, but once it was released, I saw what a great complement it was to CVSS and how it just, because I think one of the challenges we saw with just using CVSS is that it's a great place to start, right? Like it's a great, we have to have some sort of scoring system. And so CVSS solves a lot of that for us. And with their latest release, they get even more, I think, nuanced in how they're really scoring vulnerabilities, which is great. But I saw just this extra component that organizations can use because when there's so many different statistics out there, but a lot of them talk about 10K backlog of vulnerabilities or 100K backlog of vulnerabilities in large organizations. And so the idea is, what tools can we use to help us prioritize and hone our remediation efforts? And I felt like EPSS was a great tool for that.
Yeah, that's a theme that we're hearing more and more. CISOs and security leaders are having a hard time. I don't want to say a hard time, but I don't want to say struggling either because but the thing is, okay, here's the caveat. I'm not pointing anybody out. They're not struggling more than anybody else or in any other profession. Everybody is struggling in the cybersecurity space. Everybody's trying to keep up. And I think having tools that allow us to prioritize, we need them.
Both EPSS and CVSS are developed by First. And they're a great organization. They're doing a lot of work around sort of how do we hone, whether it's scoring systems or developing content, because they have a great user guide. But it's essentially the score that is assigned vulnerabilities. So from informational low, medium, high, critical, that whole scoring system and all the different metrics that they use to calculate that and create that calculation is CVSS. And so if you go into NVD, the National Vulnerability Database, and you're looking for CVE IDs, and there's an associated CVSS score, there's your vulnerability score. And so it's a good place to, like I said, it's a good place to start. You sort of have to add your own system context or organizational context and figure out kind of what it means to you. I think there's a lot of focus on, hey, remediate the criticals and highs, which is good. But, if you've got a massive backlog of vulnerabilities, you need some additional tools in the tool belt to help you kind of hone in on what's important.
Okay. And how does one become a cybersecurity influencer of the year?
I
mean, I can take a guess. There's so many things that you've done. I'm just thinking, the whole influencer thing is so fascinating to me. I don't know how people become influencers, period. I don't know how it works, but is there like a committee of cybersecurity influencers? Is there an academy? Do you get up on stage?
That would be great if there was. Yeah. No, I think, what's so funny? I think I kind of fell into it, honestly, because I sort of straddle between being a practitioner and doing academic research. I still develop research and, still heavy in the academic community, but I'm also a practitioner. And so I do a lot of technical hands-on work. But then I also have the podcast and like writing books and speaking at conferences. Yeah. And so to me, influencing, like I even mentioned this when I accepted the award, which was very nice, but I just said, hey, I don't think being an influencer means likes or follows or like in the traditional sense. To me, it's about, did I impact someone positively to maybe pursue a doctorate degree? I have a lot of people reach out to me like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this or not. And just sort of help give them guidance and mentorship and, hopefully give them a different perspective or, help them make a decision. So to me, influencing is like, can you positively impact someone's life? So I don't know. I don't know if there's a committee. If there is, I'd like to meet them. But hopefully it was just that, I had a positive impact, and that's how I hope, hope to continue to be a positive impact on the cyber community at large.
Well, the world is your committee. And, that's what I'm going to go with that, because, if there isn't an audience and you're not touching people, you're not reaching people, then, who are you influencing? But clearly you're out there promoting the industry. And in a world where people don't really understand cybersecurity, I try to talk to my friends about cybersecurity, and it's just nobody really gets it. And so we need people like you who bring it to the masses and sort of make it a little bit more popular. So if that means owning the moniker influencer and having that as a badge of honor, wear it proudly. And I'm so proud of you for everything that you've done. Is there anything else that we can squeeze into the next 30 seconds or so? Whether it's when your book is going to be released, or is there anything specific that you want people to know?
Yeah. I think just that, the book will be coming out beginning of May next year. They're saying May 7th, but I really hope it's May the 4th, because I'm a big Star Wars nerd. So I'm really hoping it's May the 4th. But yeah, so the book is called Effective Vulnerability Management. I'm writing it with Chris Hughes. So I guess take a look maybe in May. Hopefully it'll be helpful. I don't know, maybe I'll write another book next year. I don't know. We'll see.
Influence away. Keep writing those books. I mean, you've influenced me. Now I want to write a book. And if I write a book
after this, we'll set you up.
All right. If I write a book, I'm definitely putting you in the acknowledgments. I'm going to say the Cybersecurity Influencer of the Year 2023 influenced me to write this book, and I am dedicating it to her. You know what? Maybe I'll name my kids after you. How far do you want this influence?
Yeah.
How much do you want to influence me?
Yeah, we're gonna have to keep it going. I'll have to figure out how far. Yeah.
Yeah, this is great. All right, Dr. Nikki Robinson, thank you for dropping by.
Thank you for having me.